What's going on, y'all? Today we're going to talk about how to get started promoting shows. How do you start being a promoter? And I just had some really good ideas that just came from our workshop for the Making It Academy, and I just want to throw down a quick video and share those tips here with you guys here on the YouTube channel. Trying to do more content on YouTube, trying to be more disciplined about that. But how do you get started promoting shows? Where should you start, right? If you haven't promoted a single show yet, you want to get into the music business and work with national bands, try to do all the cool shows. How do you get started? So the advice I gave in the workshop is starting out, you want to first get in some reps, get in repetitions of doing shows, get the experience of what it is like to deal with artists, experience on what it's like to deal with venues, learn how venue deals work, and so on, right? So to do that, the best way to do that is with local shows. Start promoting some local shows before you ever reach out to an agent or try to do national act shows, right? And in the workshop, we talked about doing one-off shows, right? So one-off is when I reach out to an agent or a manager for a specific artist, I fly them in, I do a show. That's one way you can get in, but you're gonna lose a ton of money doing one-offs. And maybe I'll do a video next on how to do one-off shows and how to the difference between one-off shows and routed shows. But sticking to starting out, when you're first starting out, you want to do the local shows, and it's going to teach you a lot of different lessons. And try to do local shows in different venues. And if you live close to another city, maybe try doing a couple local shows in another city as well, right? Um, because it's going to give you a lot of experience. And you don't do these local shows to do money. Don't take money from the local bands. But seriously, you're not going to get rich doing local shows. And if you're taking money from local bands, you're never going to be successful at the major level. You do local shows because you're trying to get experience, because you're trying to help the local scene, right? The more good promoters there are promoting local bands really well, the more successful your local scene is going to be, and the more value you add to these local bands, the more they're going to learn about how to promote themselves properly, get people excited in your city, right? The more successful your scene's going to be. And a city with a really strong local scene where people are going to shows no matter what, if it's the big national band or a cool local band, that's a really great market, right? So you're almost in the business of developing your market also. I mean, you are in the business of developing your market also if you're a promoter starting out. So start out local, start out with venues that are 400 cap and smaller, ideally 200 cap and smaller, right? And the things you're going to learn is a few different things. So local bands, they're also still kind of learning how the business work. They're still getting their reps in. So you're almost learning together in a way. And so you're learning with your peers. And they're going to have a lot of questions. And if you're able to answer those questions and deal with those potential issues that might come up with local bands, it's just going to give you those reps and those skills to do it on the national level. So when you're first dealing with local bands, they're going to want to know, do they have a dressing room? Where are the dressing rooms? Where do they park? Where do they load in? Do they have a bar tab? Do they get drink tickets? Do they get food? Do they get a guest list? How many people get to go on the guest list? Are they going to try to sneak people in through the back door? How do you deal with them sneaking people in through the back door, right? So those are some lessons you're going to learn. The guest list discipline, turning in guest lists on time to the venue's box office person, settlements, how the settlement process works. I've worked with venues where the venue rep would literally just come and hand me an envelope full of cash. I've worked with venues where they might pull me to a corner and hand me a stack of cash with no settlement sheet or anything. And then I've scenarios where I go sit in an office that's the size of a closet and we're going through a professional settlement sheet, and all different scenarios. So if you want to get in this business and you want to start promoting shows on the national level, start treating the shows like you would at a national level, right? Treat it as if it was an arena show, and that's going to come with specific things. You're going to have to advance a show properly, and we can do another video on that too. But a proper show advance is, when are we showing up? Where do you park? How many artists are on a bill? When's sound check? When's load in? When's load out? How long is your set? How long are the set changes, right? How many guest list spots do you get? What kind of gear are you bringing? Do you have a stage plot? Do you have an input list? So learn how to properly advance a show with the locals. Send them an organized, detailed, advanced summary that you send to the locals and to the venue, right? So that's going to make you look more like a professional. And then when you're settling the show, put together a quick spreadsheet or a Word document where it says the total tickets sold, what price they were sold at, right? So 100 tickets at $10, 100 tickets at $12, whatever it was, right? Or even if you have local bands pre-selling tickets, break it down. Band A sold 50 tickets, band B sold 25 tickets, band C sold 37 tickets. And there was walk-ups. We had 100 walk-ups and we sold 10 tickets online, right? Detail your settlement sheet. And even though all the tickets might be at the same price, let's say all the advanced tickets are $10 and it's $12 at the door, detail out like what outlet were they sold by, right? Were they sold up by band one, band two, whatever? Um, have your gross for each category. So band one sold 100 tickets at $10, and that's $1,000, right? $1,000 on that line item total. Band two sold 50 tickets at $10, that's $500, $500, and then total them all up at the end. That's your gross for the show, right? Or GBOR, which I have mentioned in my settlement videos. That's gross box office receipts, and then take out any sales tax and facility fee, and then you have your net box office receipts after you take out taxes and facility fee. And definitely reference those settlement videos. I'll throw those in the description below to learn how to settle shows and how tax works. Because if the $10 ticket includes the sales tax, it's inclusive, right? So it's not a multiplier. You don't multiply to find the sales tax. It's a divisor. So definitely reference those videos to figure that out. Then learn how to deal with the venues when it comes to the bar tabs, getting them to drink tickets, distributing the drink tickets amongst the artists. If the venue doesn't provide drinks tickets for the artist, ask if you can buy a case of beer and throw it in the dressing room. Definitely provide a case of water. And if you want, maybe provide a small meal, right? Provide you go to, I was gonna say Jimmy John's. Man, I have a Jimmy John's wherever you're watching from, but maybe a place that has cheap subs, cheap tacos, or a pizza. I like the subs or the tacos option because it's something other than pizza. It's not something like greasy. Um, and provide like a meal for the bands just to learn the process of providing a meal before the show, providing drinks, making sure the dressing room is clean, right? If you go in there half hour before the locals show up and clean the dressing room if needed. Some venues will walk into in a dressing room is literally a entire shithole, right? And it needs some cleaning. So go up there and pick up a little bit and make it nice and comfortable for the bands. And if you can do that at the local level to the point where the local levels want to work with you as the go-to promoter for that town, that is one going to make the venues happy, right? Especially if you're bringing in people, if those shows bring people in. And if you are becoming the go-to promoter for local shows, then it's those bands are going to work harder when they work for you, right? Because you, as the promoter, you're probably going to work only for bands that work hard and bring people out. And, if you want to take a 10% cut or a 15% cut, it's not the end of the world to maybe cover some of your costs. But don't do local shows to make a profit. You do not make a profit doing local shows unless you own the bar and you're selling the drinks and the merch and the food, whatever else you have, right? But if you're just an outside promoter doing local shows, you don't make money that way. So don't rip off the local bands. Do it to literally get experience, to get reps, and to work your way to working with agents. And in one of my next videos, leave a comment below. Reach out to me over email, whatever, or on the social media. Let me know what you want to learn next. But we can dive into advancing shows, into one-off shows versus routed shows, into booking your first show with an agent, and much, much more. So we get really, really deep with all of this stuff. And if you really want to dive deep and learn this stuff faster, join the Making It Academy. Go to patreon.com/Making It Academy. For $10 a month, you have access to all our videos on the library. We have 20 videos in the library, and we're adding almost a video every week. And then at $20 a month, we have workshops. And the workshops is a monthly workshop that's anywhere from an hour to 2 hours, where we're literally working through specific issues that you might be dealing with, right? So you could essentially sign up for at the $20 level, do one workshop, watch all the videos in a month, and then leave. I mean, you could do that. Join at the $10 level and watch all the videos there and then leave. But hopefully you find value in this stuff and you learn a ton, and hopefully you'll stay longer and we'll get the meat through the workshops and everything. And sometimes the workshops are very low attended. You might have just one person in the workshop. So it's almost like a 1.5 to 2 hour one-on-one session. And if you're watching this video and you sign up for within the first week of this video, I'll throw in a one-on-one. 1 hour one-on-one to kind of really learn your story, learn what you're currently working through. So then we get to the workshops, right? So when sometimes when nobody shows up in the workshops, I know all the students in the academy. We go through specific things that they might be working on. But that's my pitch on the academy. I hope you guys learned from this video. Engage in the comments. Let me know if you have any questions. Reach out on social media. And till next time, go see shows, meet people, make stuff. So until next time, spread love, positivity, and kindness in the world and live the life you love. Peace, my friends. Awesome. That was good.